Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another 3D Hangouts. I'm Noe Pedro Ruiz, designer here at Adafruit. Joining me every week is my brother Pedro.
What's going on everybody? I'm Pedro Ruiz, creative tech here at Adafruit, and every week we come to share 3D printed projects featuring electronics from Adafruit.
That's right, this is a show where we combine 3D printing and DIY electronics to make inspirational projects, sometimes very strange projects. This week's coupon code is First Try. If you want to pick up anything in the Adafruit shop, please do so and use First Try. And check out.
If you guys tuned in earlier, you'll realize that this is not our first try.
No, this is our second try. In the morning we had a little bit of difficulties. But welcome everybody in the chat room. Thank you so much for joining us today. We know it's a little bit later in the evening, but hey, we're here and we're rocking. So let's start off the show with the things. If you guys order $200 or more and you're in the US Continental, well, you get free ground UPS shipping. If you are in New York City and you want same-day delivery, we do that. We've been doing that for a little bit. It's been working out. So if you want to get your order in before noon, you can get it delivered in the same day. Just check out the Adafruit site for more details. Adafruit Daily is your daily dose of Adafruit newslettery stuff. So if you want to get some daily newslettery stuff from Adafruit, you got to go to adafruitdaily.com and pick what you want because we have different types of categories. We also have a more product-focused newsletter called New Newsletter. So if you want that, you have to opt in as well. You have to subscribe manually. You don't automatically get subscribed to this stuff. So go to adafruit.com/newsletter. For folks who spend $100 or more, you're going to get a free enamel pin. So this is a sweet little deal going on right now. We have these enamel pins, these little LEDs, and we basically get one if you order $100 or more. So the more stuff you get, the more stuff you order, the more stuff you get. That works.
We just saw somebody tweeted at us. They have like the largest collection of Adafruit pins.
Oh, super cool. I don't even have
Twitter,
all those
if you can
pins.
check those out.
I have like 2 out of 5. Very awesome. So hello everybody in the chat room. Thank you for coming back and joining us for today's live stream. Let's go ahead and take a look at this week's project. And this one. There we go. All right, so this week's project is a 3D printed feather board.
Not just any
A 3D printed fingerboard for the
go.
Adafruit Feather. This guy. Right over here. So check this out. If you go to learn.adafruit.com, you can see all the projects that are coming out this week. This week we have a 3D printed feather board. So what is a fingerboard? A fingerboard is basically like a little 1/8 scaled replica of a skateboard. It was invented in like the 1950s and it developed into a fully working thing, and it's got a really cool maker community. So I did a little bit of research. If you go to Instagram and you look for the hashtag fingerboard, take a look at all the awesome stuff that makers are doing with this underground community, I want to say. I mean, it's legit. They make like $120 million industry. They got some money going on here. So a lot of people, people make their own molds. People make their own decks, different types of woods, different types of veneers. They do custom graphics. Some other people do obstacles, handmade obstacles. So a lot of makery goodness happen on here. Just a couple. This is a sample here.
Yeah, there's a whole
ecosystem
of
that looks dope.
Fingerboarding.
Yeah, so a lot of makery stuff. Yeah. So a lot of cool stuff, micro machining on those trucks because they got everything. They got washers.
Yeah, super impressed when we first got these parts in. We were able to see just how small they were able to get all the bearings for the wheels, and the quality of the trucks on some of these are outstanding. World's smallest
fidget spinner wheels.
Yeah.
So the first page just walks you kind of through the project, some of the things that you need for the project. This is a 3D printed deck, and the standoffs are actually something that we have in stock. It is these nylon standoffs and screws is what I used in the project. So if you're looking for a way to mount your Adafruit circuit boards to other things, definitely pick up a set of these M25 screws. Comes with a wide assortment of lengths, nuts, and the standoffs, of course. And here are a couple projects that use those. So I'm glad I used those, and
that's right. The cool thing about these is that you can actually cut them down if you need a different size for them.
Yeah, the things, yeah. So the Adafruit feathers, which feathers are compatible with the fingerboard? Most of the kind of basic ones. So the basic Proto, the M0 Express, The BLE ones work well. The things that don't work are some of the longer feather boards, so like the Huzzah, for example, or the Wicked with the Wi-Fi. That one won't fit. Probably the radio ones are a little bit longer too, so those won't fit. But you do have access to download the files, so if you want to update them, you can do so. Or if you want to remove the holes completely, you could do that too and not have a board. So you can choose what you want. Pretty cool. So speaking of 3D printing, this was printed with a wood filament. There is a special blend of PLA, PHA with bamboo fibers. It is from Color Fab. It is currently discontinued, but there are other wood filaments out there. A lot of different brands. You got Hatchbox who makes wood filament. Just everybody makes wood filament. I really like this one though because it uses like 30% recycled bamboo fibers and like 70% PLA, PHA, which is really nice. And you can sand it down. You can print it without any modifications to your settings. You can print with the standard PLA settings.
And you can also print it with different colors by adjusting the temperature while you're printing.
The hotter you go, the darker the shade, the lighter you print. So you can go from like 190 to 220 and get your different colors. But in this instance, you actually, because of the geometry where the holes are, the printer tends to kind of cool down a little bit and prints it lighter right in between those mounting holes. So that was kind of a byproduct of just the nature of bit printing. You do need, this is a very kind of different type of geometry, not flat or anything, so you kind of have to use a raft and support material. So if you want to 3D print this, you will need a raft and some support material. It's very easy to sand and finish, so you can finish the surface. It's a little bit coarse when it comes out, so you can clean that up real nice. And definitely recommend getting like filing tools and stuff like that to make it easier when you are 3D printing this type of material. All the CAD stuff is available to download. We'll walk through it a little bit in after the assembly page. But the stuff is on Thingiverse, and I'll upload them to PinShape and Imagine a little bit later today. But that's pretty much it for the 3D printing aspect. All the slice settings and things are right here for you guys if you want to dive deep into that. Let's jump into the assembly page. Pretty straightforward. I recommend installing the standoffs first, and then putting it into the deck, and then mounting the deck with the hex nuts so that's secured in place. Then removing the feather so that you can actually get into mounting the trucks. I do link to the trucks. There are a couple different resellers, a couple different manufacturers that you can get the trucks from. We currently do not stock these. Maybe we will if somebody wants to, but right, you can get these from ProWood.com, ProWoodFingerboards.com, I believe it is. You can get some nice trucks there, right here. It comes with all the kind of necessary, yeah, ProWoodFingerboards.com. So you get like a different colors and stuff like that. So it's a nice place to get them from, but that's where we got them from, and they're pretty good quality. So back to the assembly page. Yeah, you just kind of walk through it and just fasten the screws in place. So if anybody makes one, please do share it with us and we'll share it on the show. But that's basically the project. Yeah, that's the project.
Yeah, so one of the biggest reasons on why Phil wanted these for education, for thinking outside the box in terms of enclosures, especially for like kids, it might be a nice little fun thing.
This is the most unique enclosure. It's not even really enclosed.
Now, for customization though, this is where the nitty-gritty really gets interesting in terms of modeling and engineering this. In terms of the modeling aspect for this, I tried doing this in the sculpting environment, which came out with some okay results, but we weren't able to get into the timeline or even create one when having to do minor tweaks. So you actually redid this now inside of the patch environment inside of Fusion 360, and that allowed us to get a much better, like smoother feel in terms of the curvature that is right around the edge of the deck where your fingers go. So if you jump into Fusion, you can take a look at the way that those were designed.
All right, so I wanted to show these things up.
You can see what I'm talking right here, and then this is the one that was created with the sculpting environment.
All right.
So a little bit difficult to do because we had to remake the standoffs, the holes, the mounting holes for this. Every single time we did a small tweak because unfortunately there is no ability to have a timeline.
I'll say what I do like about your design, Pedro, is that it actually prints with no support material, and that's what we strive for. Doing no support material figuring out as a challenge from a design standpoint, how do I print this without any support materials? It actually came out really well, but when you look at it from like a tweaking and adjustability standpoint, it isn't that really flexible. So if you guys are new to Fusion 360 or just the sculpting environment, you basically have a T-spline type of, is it T-spline or T-body, something like that. But basically you get these kind of these subdivisions that you can modify, and you can define symmetry here. So you can see how I click on this, and basically what you do is you just push and pull things and you manipulate it as if it were clay and putty. So you can see how I can bend this outwards, and you can, although it looks really kind of intuitive, it's a little bit difficult because you really have to kind of fine tune your kind of the fall off type or the section type. So there's a lot of things you can do with it, but it's a little bit difficult to kind of go in there. If you're new to it, it's a little bit difficult. It's kind of neat though, for different type of things. If you're looking for more of a puffy kind of look, I guess you can go with this method. But from like Pedro was saying, to change this, we'd have to go back in here and modify. And there's really no kind of, there is a history. You kind of have this here, undo edit, you can do that, but it doesn't really show here in the timeline. You basically have one object or one feature type, and you can't kind of step through individual things unless you go up here, and then that way you can kind of edit it. But it kind of gets a little bit difficult. So the way this was built was using a sketch and then bringing it out and then kind of thickening it. I actually can't really show it to you because it just goes from there to there. Like you don't really,
very frustrating.
You can't really, yeah. Every time we would do a technique, we'd have to step back and then redo all this stuff here. So it's very kind of like a destructive editing type way. All right, so I got inspired by Kaching, who works at Autodesk. He does quite a few tutorials for the Fusion 360 team, and he showed a way how to bend, how to design a bendy frame for eyeglasses. So I got inspired by that tutorial. So shout out to Kaching. And basically, this is built with just 2 sketches. So I step back at the very beginning. Let's take a look at those 2 sketches here. Is my screen showing okay? Should be. So the first sketch here is going on the x-axis here, and you can see it's just a line, and the line here is built with splines. So the spline tool is a great way to get super curvatures. So you can see when I click on one of the dots here, you get these green handles, and these are basically Bezier handles that gives you this super nice curve. So pretty neat. That's how that's built, and then just a straight line. I got one sketch dimension here just to kind of define the length, and I got a construction plane here because the fingerboards do have a sort of a standard length. They can vary a little bit, but you kind of stay within that 1/8 scale of the skateboard. So I got that sketch. The second sketch is actually on this axis over here, going along the X. You can see it's just an arc. So we just got an arc going on there. I don't think it's... yeah, it's not a T-spline, it's just a regular arc. So that's going on that way. So when you combine these two together, what you can do is basically perform a sweep. So instead of doing this in the model workspace, there's something called the patch environment. Let's read what it says. It says, creates construction surfaces and repairs surface geometry. Access commands to create surface bodies. And just by kind of looking at that image, you can see kind of what it does. So you can basically make surfaces to oh whoops, I went to the render. You can make surfaces that can become solid bodies. So that's what we did here. So if we open up the bodies and we take a look at this, just the curvature of this thing looks really, really nice. So this was produced with a sweep. So I basically took one profile, which is this guy here. Actually, this is the profile here, and then I swept it along this path, which is this rail over here. So you can see as I manipulate, you see what it's doing, right? I can pull this and it curves upwards, and that is super awesome. So that's how it's doing. So the orientation is perpendicular. So I hit cancel on that, and you basically get this almost kind of like a cloth or a drape or something like that. So then all you have to do is you run this command called thicken. Let's take a look at thicken. If I can find it. Where is it? Create. There it is. Thicken. So thicken allows you to just add thickness to what otherwise is not a body. It's just a patch surface. So you can create a thickness there. And that's basically what I did here. So I step forward and you can see I got a little thicken there. So that's a really interesting way. I can see this being used to make like furniture, a chair or something would be really cool. It doesn't have to be a skateboard. So think outside the box and think what can I use these features for? I think a chair would be really cool. All right, so then I do a fillet and I kind of do a mirror on that and duplicate it via a mirror, combine them, and then add my mounting holes. And then kind of add in these cool trucks and stuff. So I bring in the feather component and then just kind of punch out some holes. Pretty cool. So one thing I want to note is I actually brought in these trucks just for show and stuff, but it's kind of neat. I want to highlight these trucks and more importantly probably where you can get Fusion files. So these trucks are like the real deal. These are like real trucks. They like have the bushings and everything.
As do these as well.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Very similar.
So where I got the trucks from was actually from the gallery from Autodesk. So Autodesk has a nice gallery, and this is where I cropped it from. Craig Bosher, who shared this. So it's kind of like a Thingiverse, but for Fusion 360 files. So really great work on the trucks. I just exported it out as I just downloaded it as a Fusion archive, brought it in, and just kind of simplified that and brought it into my design. So it's pretty cool. So shout out to Autodesk Gallery. If you guys are looking for specific Fusion 360 stuff, check out the gallery.
So we're used for importing designs on something that you don't really need to spend that much time modeling on, just to get the placement right on these.
Correct, yeah. And you get some nice renders out of it too. So if you guys want the Fusion file for this, check it out. Hope you guys are inspired to make some furniture. I don't know.
Scott McCunley is saying, this turned into a really cool Fusion 360 demo. Yes, that's how you should always look at all these projects. There's always... They don't just magically appear. They have to be constructed.
You gotta make stuff. Let's take a look at some of the
material properties as well. You can see.
So the curves come out pretty good, and of course, printing this in the orientation is really what it's all about. Here's what it looks like with regular PLA. You can see how you get a nice, cleaner surface without having to do much sanding or anything. Just because PLA is a little bit easier. Once you add some composite material, you start getting a little bit of cleanup and stuff. So Fusion, our favorite slicer, of course, is Simplify 3D, which makes some beautiful tool paths and makes it really easy to add support materials. I just broke that live here, so you can see what it looks like. So that's really nice. And this one over here too. I think we ran out of filament here and like changed it out, right? Yeah.
Yes, right at the tip here you can see.
So although it feels coarse, it is very easy to sand it down. I didn't spend too much time sanding it, but you can totally do that. And the curvatures are real nice. This is what I'll talk about the holes. You can see how the holes are just a little bit more messy here. With regular PLA, you don't get that. So depending on how you want to do it. So
if we've tried adjusting the materials for the profile for this, and if we have the retraction too much, it'll jam up. So
correct.
It's just one of the characteristics of printing with the wooden filament. So they're saying, is there going to be a cool 360 Fusion?
Absolutely.
Layer by layer on
I am going to do that. Yeah, that'll be out later this week. Tomorrow or today I have another one that I'm going to talk about. A lot of layer by layers happening. So this is a regular fingerboard. What's really cool about these it is basically a couple layers of wooden veneer. Veneer being this very thin wood material. And you can basically make your own fingerboards and your own molds. So one of the things I'm really interested in making a 3D printed mold. And what you basically do is you I think you wet this veneer in water, and then you add wood glue in between the different layers, and then you basically press the mold together, and it curves into that. And you let it dry overnight, and then you get this very nice curve. So I'm going to try making a 3D printed mold using this. I'm going to create like a buck. This is called a buck, I believe, when it comes to like...
Well, the other thing will be the...
The other thing is the buck, and this is the positive, right? Yeah, and we're making negatives. So I'm gonna play with that. Another interesting thing would be to use the hydro dipping method to create graphics on the bottom here. That'd be really cool as well. So adding some graphics to this would look really cool. Imagine the feather logo right here. That'd be really cool. Yeah. So.
Yep. So the hydro dripping is something we wanted to do, but we were still waiting on samples to come in.
Yeah. We're working on getting them in stock. Yeah.
This is the sculpted version of that. Not too much different, just a little bit of a change in the way the tail is. But like I said, I was not happy with the way the little divot here for your finger to go into.
Right.
Came out a lot more better in the patch modeling.
Yeah,
version.
and it was something that I was itching to kind of try with. So that's another important thing is like when you have driven to do, just try it out. It might work, it might not, but you'll learn something when you try it. I rather like Pedro's because again, no support material. It's printed flat on the bed.
On the bed.
The overhang or whatever you want to call it here is incredible how the printer was able to resolve that. There's no support material there, so it's nice. I still like this. This is actually pretty cool. I'm not very good at fingerboarding, but
one thing that we kept showing in like some of our Instagrams and things like that is that we had a LiPo battery attached to this. Actually, the 100 mil. You can attach this to the bottom.
Absolutely.
We just didn't want to have any liability in terms
I
of
don't
people
want you
trying
guys to
it
break
and
your battery. I gotta be honest. I did break the plastic on here.
Oh, on the JST.
You can actually see I broke the. Yeah, I was fingerboarding too hard and broke the JST connector, but it still works. Just be careful with it.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of fun. I didn't think I'd like this stuff, but I gave it a shot, and I like fingerboarding now.
Fun one.
Yeah, it's very fun.
Here. This looked pretty cool, and it is quite a challenge to try to be able to do tricks with a different weight distribution that you will get on this.
It is harder.
Here's what it looks like with the little NeoPixel on there.
Yeah, this is the M0 Express running CircuitPython. Right now it's in Arduino mode, but double tap on that reset button. And there you go. It is now in
CircuitPython.
Actually, it's in boot mode right now. It's all right. So cool. So yeah, you got some couple options there. Hopefully it inspires you guys. If you do want to pick up the Adafruit Feather, get some more feathers, you can use coupon code First Try. Get 10% off your order. Again, we got some cool stuff. You spend $100 more, you get that. You get those.
You gotta catch
enamel
all
pins.
of these.
Gotta catch them all.
And of course,
that was fun.
It expires at 11:59 p.m. tonight. Works on everything except certificates and gift certificates and subscriptions.
Yeah.
Your box.
Fun stuff. All right, well, that's this week's project. I hope you guys enjoy it. Get something out of it. A lot of comments are like, "What's the point? Why not?
Yeah, like I said in the last stream, it's always the unimaginative people who say that. There's always
thumb down. I don't get it.
Engineering and design work, material properties. That's always the name of the game when it comes to the projects that we try to put out there.
Yeah. I think my favorite comment was, how did the feather board cross?
How did the feather board cross the road?
Yeah.
With a fingerboard?
With a fingerboard. Something like that. It was a good joke when I read it in my head. Okay, well, let's jump into what are we prototyping? We got some stuff in the works here. So should we show the Guardian robot or your lights?
Yeah.
Let's do the Guardian robot. So last week we talked about the Zelda Breath of the Wild Guardian robot. This was designed by Steve on Thingiverse, and I wanted to do the dual extrusion version. So we worked with Steve to refine that design so that it can work with LEDs, so that the LEDs can shine through like a diamond. So what I have here is a little LED tester that I have. So this is the LED. Here's a 10mm LED with a resistor built in there and the shrink wrap, 2 wires, and just a regular coin cell. It's a 3.6 volt coin cell, so I can quickly test the stuff. So go ahead and drop that in there, and you can see that now, because of the new update of the design, where we're using regular gray PLA and a translucent PLA, so that allows the light to kind of shine through. It's really bright here in the studio, so you might not be able to kind of see that, but yeah, there you go.
See like a halo around it.
Yeah, so we're hoping that this will illuminate all those details and stuff, because in the game, the whole body is kind of this orangey red color, and then the head has the blue LED. So hopefully that'll work out. That's just the head. We're trying to fine tune the settings for the body. So this is the body of the Guardian robot.
Now you might be able to hear printing in the background.
Yeah,
I did have to do some changes in the way that the purge is working for this. That's the only reason why.
Yeah. So the Sigma BCN 3D printer has the independent printer heads. So it has 2 print heads. And one of the ways to get that to do dual extrusion in the right way is to purge, so kind of extruding out material as it parks its head, or once it's going to start the next layer. So there you go. That's our little update on the Guardian robot. I think in 2 weeks' time we'll have it out because we have something planned already for next week, and this will come out in 2 weeks. So huge shout out again to Steve, who is helping out on this project, like right away. Yeah. So that's really, really, really cool. So again, check out last week's 3D Hangout if you want to see the servo head moving. We got that working. We just want to really make this super nice and fancy with the dual extrusion.
Yeah.
So there you go. That worked out really well. For those of you wondering about the Ultimaker 3 that we have in-house, we did try out that, but we didn't have the translucent material. So I want to show you guys real quick what it looks like here.
Looks pretty good, actually.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. We printed a lot of heads.
Yeah.
Fine-tuning these settings. So you can tell in the ears, in the detail over here in the ears, this was supposed to be dual extruded, but it's just a little bit too minor detail to resolve for our 3D printer. So you can see here, this is the Ultimaker printing out the head dual extrusion. This is before this change where we opted to kind of just make the ears be a single extrusion. You can see how it's really hard to resolve those details. And this is at a 0.2 millimeter layer height, so 200 microns is the layer height there. A little bit messy on the overhangs, but it looks good from afar. Yeah, that's our little update on the Guardian robot. It's a fun project. All right, next up we're gonna go into, well, we're still got, what are you prototyping? Pedro's got some really cool eyelashes, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah, so viral video that was going to making the rounds. Arduino posted about this, and I think like Verge and everybody else posted about the LED eyelashes.
Yep, trying to pull it up on the blog here.
Yeah, so we actually had a contributor post this project, oh my god, like 4 years ago, right? So if you guys check out learn.adafruit.com, type in LED eyes, you can find the project right up by Tully.
Oh gosh, here it is. Nope, that's not it. Could have swore I had it open. We've been jumping around, so that's what's going on. All right, we'll go straight to that. Yeah, so check this out. This is the LED eye prosthetic project by Tully, and this is a really cool project for cosplaying and all sorts of different things, I guess. He used surface mounted LEDs and some like solid core wire to make this really cool looking eye prosthetic, and a little coin cell battery. So although this came out, we thought it was, you know, as good as it was going to get. So Pedro got inspired to do it again. Look at Becky wearing it. It looks so dope.
Yeah, because he kept seeing it pop up, and I was saying, well, we could definitely make these with just sequins, a smaller coin cell battery, a 3D printed clip-on for the board. And then we just got that really cool magnet wire.
That's right.
And if you jump over to the overhead, you can tell that it's hooked up, but you can barely see it. It looks like pretty much like hair.
Yeah, it's thinner than human hair. I mean, it's like 100 microns.
So I did try this with the wrap wire, but you can definitely see the difference on these. So the way it's working is it's just a wire going from the ear, or around the ear, down to where you're going to put them on either your eyelash or right in front of your eyes like Tully did. But it totally ruins the illusion when you have like the thicker in terms of 30 gauge wire. I think this is a 100 micron thick.
Yeah, it's 100 micron.
The magnet wire. So it definitely kills the illusion when you see like, you know,
how is this being powered? It's like, whoa.
They're ants.
They're ants.
Work for me, ants.
That's great.
Yeah, so these tiny little magnet wires hooked up to the smaller coin cell battery. You have a little 3D printed holder on the back here with a clip, so you can just go right onto the back of your shirt. Hold that on. So super easy to wire these up, but we'll talk about these next week.
Is it really super easy? I find that looking difficult for me.
Well, these were more harder to do because of the insulation that you have to strip off.
Oh, with the enamel, you can just scrape it off or something?
You just solder it.
Oh, you solder it off. You burn it away.
Just burn it away.
That's dope. So you just thread it through and then solder in place?
Exactly, yeah.
What? I didn't even know.
So we'll show that. Super easy to do.
All right, let's watch Pedro with him on.
Oh, if you checked out my Instagram a couple weeks ago, I think.
Yeah. So here's Pedro. What? You soldered it straight from the pack. Look at that. It looks dope.
Actually, I think that was with the wire wrap.
Look how they're jiggling. It's because he.
So you can have them resting right up on your eyelashes when you move up and down, or when you wink, it'll move with them.
Raise your eyebrow.
Just super easy, fun wearable that you could do.
Can we make a GIF out of this?
We'll make a better one for the guide.
So
this will be out next week.
Did you really solder it like that, like straight from the pack?
So like again, like I said, this.
Oh, this is the other one. Yeah.
On the pack is what creates the spacing, the even spacing between them.
Sweet. That's cool. So if you guys want to up your Dune cosplay, check out this project next week. First try?
Really fun.
Did you get it on the first try?
This was my first try right here, but of course, once I saw the magnet wire released, I was like, okay, that's going to be a lot more better in terms of hiding where that's coming from. If you guys want to pick some up to get ready for building your own, if you'd like. I mean, it doesn't have to be eyes. It could be like whatever embedded somewhere else.
Right.
Becky's made ones where it was just like on your face.
Yeah.
I think they would have been cooler with
Space
the magnet wire.
Galaxy makeup, I believe it's called.
Exactly, yeah.
Super dope.
Super thin. This is mainly used for rework, like if you wanted to connect two wires together or something like that. Actually, we should probably use this like when we need to bridge connections for like increasing, like for the monitor projects where you can bridge to create like the brighter monitor, or when you need to create the switch.
Yeah, you want to change the charge rate
or the charge rate on the LiPo charger.
Yeah.
Instead of like trying to bridge the solder together, you could just use this as the bridge to connect two pads together. So definitely worth having some.
I don't know how much current you can pass through, but it's enough to light up a couple LEDs.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there's a spec somewhere that tells you like, maybe not.
Someone is saying, I wonder if the LED eyelids would defeat facial recognition. Probably.
Probably, yeah. So use those for like hacking. That's
actually one of the projects that I have on my list, where it's just some 3D printed parts that you put onto your face, like eyes. I think it's been posted on the blogs before, where it's like checkers or something on your face. Right. There's like a gradient or something, and it like totally fools the facial recognition. So it's cool. Super cool little project there.
Yeah.
I'm going to get some huge eyelid muscles now.
It doesn't feel like anything's on your face, right?
With these are just floating like right in front of your eyes, so they're just being held up by the wire. Right. I don't know how the magnet's going to work. I'm just going to use the medical flex tape. Yeah, you can kind of see it there. That we used on the Logan.
Transport,
yeah.
Is the name of the tape.
So that's what we're using for that. It's a cool little easy project for kids. And of course, Halloween coming up pretty soon.
Yeah.
Looking at our list here, looks like now we're jumping into this week's Shop Talk.
Shop Talk.
Super cool
model buy. Yeah, so you probably saw yesterday's video. If you didn't, check out yesterday's video. It's a time lapse. We do time lapse Tuesday every Tuesday. And this Tuesday, we have a really nice design. It's a Gothic Lantern is what Shira is calling it. So Shira on Thingiverse shared this. And I really wanted to put a circuit playground underneath it to illuminate it. So this is what it looks like. Very intricate details. And even though it's intricate details, we were able to print this with a 0.5 millimeter. 0.5 millimeter layer height with a 0.6 millimeter nozzle. So you could print this in just a day. It only takes 20 hours, no big deal. With a regular 0.2 layer height and a regular 0.4 nozzle, this would take 48 hours. But you can print it in just 20 hours. You can print this giant lantern. Big as your head, right? It's pretty big. That's how it comes out.
Yeah, so this slides off.
Yeah, so this slides off. It's got a nice little rail here, a little slot, and then these are like little rails that kind of mate in here, and they kind of get stuck in there. Very interesting details. No support material. So yeah, that's really awesome. All the overhangs here are at some sort of degree so that your printer is able to resolve it. Yeah. And even with a 0.6 nozzle, you're able to resolve these fine details.
So on the inside, we have a circuit playground doing all of the LED animations on there. And you designed a custom bottom that would hold that on.
That's right.
We're using, how long are these screws? I forget. They're really long.
They're an inch.
Inch long screws. get all the way through there. You can
that
see where
is
they stick out.
25.4 millimeters for our metric lovers out there.
Mhm.
Yeah, so let's take a look at the Thingiverse file real quick, just to kind of show you where that is. So if you go later today, I'm going to publish this along with my layer by layer on how I designed it. So here's a better look at it. The Circuit Playground is mounted to these standoffs, and then it's secured in place with M3 screws. And that's what it looks like. I have enough room in between the board and the enclosure to fit a 500 milliamp LiPo battery, along with a slide switch and a JST adapter so that we can turn the thing on and off. So it's really important that you can turn off your circuit. So that's what it looks like. Looks really fun. Check out the video if you haven't already, just to see a little bit of the build process. I'll have all the products and links and hardware stuff accessible in this sort of mini guide here on Thingiverse. So I got to publish that later today. And of course, huge shout out to Sonia Verdu, who does some incredible designs. You can check out all her designs. She's the one that does all the jointed robots and things. A lot of interesting designs. We've printed out quite a few of her things. Yeah.
Dragon Door Knocker was popular.
Yeah, I think
it's really cool.
I think it's super popular. But yeah, her latest design is this guy over here. So it is free download. You guys can download it and check it out. Yeah. What I like about it is that she didn't design the bottom. She was like, make your own Adventure Time thing. It's like pick your own LED lights, because you don't want to use a regular incandescent light bulb. You're going to burn the PLA.
Yeah. So that's actually what I want to do. I want to print a couple more out for Halloween and have just a regular LED on there. The one that just cycles through different colors, just coin cell.
Yeah.
One of those LEDs in there, and that should be just enough to have a cool little effect on the outside, just hanging down.
And another kind of note is the diffuser. Do you want to show that off and recommend using natural PLA color instead of translucent color, because you get more of a solid color. You get more hot spots, or kind of, you see all the kind of layer lines.
The other one around, but yeah, definitely want to go with the natural color PLA instead of the translucent. This will give you a more diffused look on that, softer glow on that, especially since
got a hint of white.
If you want to have like the LEDs pretty close to it, it will give you that extra diffusion that you'll need, so you don't have to increase the distance from the walls.
This is just one perimeter too, so there was a little bit of a problem here too. You can't really see it, but got some
there's some warping on there just because of the way it is. We're using a thick nozzle for that. Yeah, so there was some separation around here.
You'll see that the surface tension tends to kind of warp a little bit. So as it's printing upwards, it kind of waves a little bit. Yeah. But yeah, otherwise it works well as a diffuser. So,
other notes to mention: this was printed on the BCN 3D Sigma with a 175 millimeter filament.
Oh yes, how did you do that? This is a printer that's for 2.85 millimeter filament.
No cleanup, and you can see the retraction that occurs through building all of the like the wire mesh for this. There was absolutely no cleanup that was required for that. You can check out the time lapse too. Looks pretty cool when it's growing. But yeah, it's 175 millimeter filament. Retraction was set to 4 millimeters.
Okay.
220 degrees, I want to say, and 60 millimeters for the speed.
Nice.
So, gotta mention that again. Anybody who wants to use 175 on the Sigma,
go for it.
It works. It works for us. It's worked.
We have a nice little video tutorial on it, so you can check it out on one of the 3D Hangouts.
Sweet. Super cool. Shout out
to Sonia. Sweet.
Very cool.
Very awesome.
Next thing we want to take a look out for is...
I want to say the BCN Sigma is now in stock. You get it now.
Oh, yeah.
Use first try and get 10% off a $2,000 printer.
Yeah. You also get free shipping on that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool. All right. Well, that's this week's Time-Lapse Tuesday Community Make project all-in-one. Cool. Next item for Shop Talk. We're gonna have some contests. Maybe we got some contests. All right, cool.
Let's talk about contest. Yeah,
let's look at some contests. A chance for you guys to win some awesome goodies. So first one here is, this is an interesting one. I think this is just is it a contest? Yeah, I think so. This is sort of like from what I heard, so this is a link that Kirby sent me, and it is like a retro boombox. Fusion 360, I suppose, is holding a webinar to teach people how to design this, but this is for the challenge thing that's going on? Here it is. Check out the BoseBuild Design Challenge. You can download a Bose PCB and speaker component for Fusion or Tinkercad. And there's already 227 entries.
Master Bose.
Yeah, Master Bose. Like, Master Chief. Yeah, so there's a lot of great creative things. Check out the site for more details. 21 prizes. I think there's a printer and other things you can win.
There's always a printer.
Ultimaker is the grand prize. You can win their boards, some t-shirts, whatever. Check out all the details and stuff. A lot of great inspirational stuff just to browse through here, all the entries. So really neat. The next contest is another one from Instructables. This is the Fidget Spinner Design Challenge. If you're not sick of fidget spinners yet, they don't make you want to throw up, you can sorry. you can design a fidget spinner and potentially win a Ultimate 2 Go 3D printer. So a lot of
So since we're on that subject, I have been collecting all the fidget spinners. I think I ordered like a bunch like 2 months ago, but
really?
Since I'm getting them from like $1 or like 60 cents each from China, they're taking a while. But so far, my favorite one is this one right here. All because you're able to take off the little arms and adjust it to
this is like
how
the
many you want.
Patriotic USA.
Yeah.
Colors.
So you're thinking of doing this contest, maybe make it modular so that you can adjust. I mean, I know this is going to be pretty hard to design a little thread to get that in there, but I think this is pretty cool where you're able to adjust how many arms you want on your spinner.
Yeah.
And it's so quiet and light. All the other ones are like super heavy. And
all right, Pedro, our view count's dropping, man. You need to drop the... You need to get over the fidget spinners.
Just a case.
Okay, cool.
They were like 60 cents each. You can't complain.
50 cents. Just base shipping, free. So check that out if you're into the fidget spinner craze. There's some people got a profit off this. So check out Instructables. We got another contest for you. This is in collaboration with MyMiniFactory and Tinkercad. There's your chance to win a BQ Whitbox 2 3D printer. So there's actually different themes. So they got the fingerboard ramps, which is cool. Nice. You can download the resources for all of these themes. Furniture, pots and planners, fidget spinners. You got a little bit of something for everybody. The main prize is, of course, the Whitbox 2 3D printer. Runner-up prizes, fingerboards, some other 3D printers, some skate bearings, and some Tinkercad swag. So check it out. It's a nice one. I'll have it linked down below. This one's still going. It ends July 16th, so that one's ending within a couple weeks. The Mechanical Design Challenge, this is a contest that we sponsored. Adafruit sponsored this one. It has closed and it's now judging, so it ended June 30th, and hopefully the winners will be announced soon. And the winners will get a Formlab 3D printer, the Form 2, some gift cards, Adafruit gift card, $100. Second prize gets the awesome Prusa printer, and third prize gets some 3D Hubs credits, which is pretty neat. All right. Other stuff.
We were just talking about this in the chat room.
PrintrBelt just came out. It was released. Josh from Design Make Teach. He has a exclusive preview of this thing working in action. So Brooke Drum partnered up with the folks at Polar 3D. Polar 3D, I believe, is doing the software, and Printrbot's doing all the hardware stuff. So they're making a consumer grade printer belt. So this is a different print orientation. It's got all the same kind of printer parts, but it's just interesting how you can create this continuous kind of 3D printing where it just, you have a revolving belt, right? And it just kind of peels off. Yeah, moving belt.
I think it's interesting the way it does the first layer on that. Like, how it looks like there's no warping on that.
So check out this video. I can't show all of it. I kind of did. Hopefully you don't get flagged. Sorry, Josh. But check out Josh on Instagram and YouTube.
Really cool little first
Sweet.
look at
and
that.
it's for sale right now. You can buy it right now.
6x6 by Infinite.
By Infinite Z. That's cool. So that's a little bit of news for you there.
Yeah, and as Kirby says, they do have cloud software for the slicing on that. Not big fans of that, but they are able to iterate really
says us where
that.
all of our Fusion is in the cloud.
I know.
You know? So anyway, download your stuff before it's gone. All right, let's jump into Community Makes. That's pretty much all the shop talk I got. So Community Makes, here's an opportunity for us to share your projects. If you want to get your projects shared on the show, just hit us up on any of these social channels at Adafruit, at and at VideoPixel. That is us.
We're posting every day, several times a day. Really cool stuff behind the scenes.
Correctamundo. So the first thing I'm going to share is this thing over here. It's just a little remix. Speaking of fidget spinners, hey, look, it's the Adafruit fidget spinner as a flower in a 3D printed flower pot. That's
pretty cool.
It's kind of fun. I think it's neat. Fidget spinners are quite useless, so I decided to make something cute out of it. Still useless though.
I know.
This is fun.
I think one of the most useful ones are the ones that are bottle cap openers.
Yeah, those are good.
Bottle openers.
Or USB drives, like Devin did.
Drives.
Make anything.
That's right, yeah.
All right, this is this is a great make here. This is the case for the Adafruit JoyBonnet. If you're wondering where the stock of Adafruit JoyBonnets, this gentleman here bought them all, or gentle lady. Yeah. So cool. Thank you for posting this make. This is nice to see them all in different colors and different matching cables.
I like those threaded cables.
I 3D printed it, but I CNC milled it, and that was kind of like the wow moment for me, was to learn how to make this with a different type of technology, like subtractive. Really so this is really nice. It looks really good. Okay, we got another one here. This is interesting. If you guys are a fan of Lego and you have Lego kits and you have lost maybe 1 or 2 pieces, you can get them straight from Denmark. But this is a neat little project. This is called Print a Brick, and it's basically a website, kind of like a database of every brick ever. So what you can do is you can go to the website. You can see that they have 5,000 bricks in over 11,000 sets. So as you saw there, I went to this set here, and every one of these pieces can be 3D printed just about, if you can handle it.
If you can print some of these in the air because of the way that the orientations or just the geometry for some of these are.
For resin printer. So pretty interesting that all of the pieces, Kirby was telling me that there's no patent on Lego, just can't use the name. So none of these pieces have the Lego little brand on it. Yeah. But you're free to print
Although,
them.
no, it says Lego right on the little nubs there.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Yeah. Of course, you're going to have to play with tolerances and all that stuff. But
right. Who has time to print, I don't know, 12 of these and 10 of these and
they're so intricate.
40 of these. It's like, okay, you can do it, but who wants to do that?
And like you were saying before, if you jump over the overhead, Lego will just send you, if you ever break something, they'll just send you a replacement, which with a little letter that
says, "We're so sorry. Please keep buying Lego."
Yeah, so Gavin broke one of his helicopter ones, and I was on their site looking to buy some bricks, and then I couldn't find it. And then right underneath, it was like, "Is there a problem with your set?" I went through, and they didn't even ask like for proof of purchase or anything. And then like 3 weeks later, or 2 weeks later, or whatever, they just sent replacement parts. So what was that?
There's an Adafruit logo. I just destroyed it. Picked it up and it fell apart.
That's fine. We're gonna do Timeouts Tuesday of building.
I wanted to share something and I broke it. My apologies. This is a live show after all. Anyway, that's good.
Not the first try.
Anyway, if you're into the Lego thing and you want to 3D print one brick, you can maybe it's here in the database. Shout out to Print a Brick.
What is your next Lego set you'll be building? Let us know in the comments below.
We don't work for Lego. We're not sponsored by Lego.
This is a great one that fills my heart with such happiness.
It fills your heart with.
This is
come
such
on, Zelda pun.
Awesome
come on. I don't gotta felt Zelda
Mini
pun.
Rubies.
Anyway, this is cool.
Check out this build and like little photo shoot by.
I want more photos.
So, Shadome Anime.
Shad Anime, yeah.
This is so cool. Check out the Zelda sword build.
Yay.
And you were telling me too, this is the exact getup that Link wears when he wakes up in the game.
He wakes up naked and he's like, where am I? Who am I?
Yeah.
Not naked, but you know what I mean. Anyway, this is a really cool post.
Turned out
really cool
so awesome. Yeah. Look at this.
I want more pictures. And there's quite a few makes too, so shout out to everybody who's making them.
I'm so happy that people actually like this and they're
able to build it, because when you make something, you're not sure how it's going to be received.
Well, first off, because it's so big, I thought, nobody's going to be able to,
No, the community took it on themselves to cut it up and figure out how to do that, which is great. I really appreciate it. It's really cool.
Yeah, so definitely keep posting makes of this. Really like seeing everybody making these
Yeah, I think we just got a tweet earlier, right? On the over there, like
yeah, I
in
just
progress.
saw it, yeah.
So
Work in progress.
awesome. Once it's done, definitely gonna share it. Post it up as a make. Let us know. Sweet. All right, next project I want to share is actually from Liz, who has a YouTube channel. She goes by BlitzCityDIY, and she is coming out with some great projects. So her latest one, the DIY MIDI.
Everybody
MIDI
was
Fighter.
asking for MIDI Fighter.
Yeah,
with
here
last
it is.
week's project.
Yeah. So check out Liz. Be sure to give her a like and subscribe. She is on YouTube. Just search for DIY or BlitzCityDIY, and I'll have her link down in the description. But really, really good, thorough walkthrough of not just the build but the coding of this.
Wow.
So, and her thought process and what things worked and what didn't.
Really
so I
good.
really, really appreciate that. So shout out to Liz. She's doing a great job.
The only complaint is, I think it's just limitation of Arduino. It's the hit state is on release.
Yeah, I think you can change it though.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So it's all good. Cool. What's this link? Oh, this is the
This
Neo
was
segment
posted
digit
on our Discord
chat
channel.
room. Yeah, it's our secret chat room.
So if you guys don't know, if you guys don't want the chat to die after the show, you can always jump into the Adafruit Discord channel, which is, I'll post a link in the chat room. I believe it is.
Well, we got to make sure that it is public.
No, it is public.
I thought it was a super secret chat room that only hardcore Adafruit fans know about.
No, Scott was posting it in some of the chat.
All right.
Yeah, so here it is.
All right. Well,
Posted
Paige is
in
going to
there.
work on getting
Hey,
you
it's in
guys
there.
in the super secret chat room. We have a super secret handshake.
So you can find Scott, he's in there. You can post about 3D printing, CircuitPython, project helped, all the things from the GitHub that are
blog,
posted.
yeah.
That's a
So
really
you
nice
get a-
alert.
Yeah, you can get
Learn.
notifications from all the things that get pushed, whether it's the PCB design or
Mhm.
some new libraries or whatever. Very cool.
Yeah.
Oh, but anyway, this is a crowdsourced the Crowdsupply project. It's a NeoPixel segment
Super
display.
tiny little segment using the skinny mini NeoPixels, I want to say. ESP 8266?
Maybe
Or
compatible with Arduino
ESP
Pi or
32.
ESP.
Nice.
Yeah, so pretty neat. Check out the project if you want more info
So
on
cool. This is awesome.
it. You can support the project too by checking out supporting the project. It's as low as $5. It's pretty cool.
Wow.
Wow. Back to project $15. Get a single digit. Sweet. That's all the projects that I wanted to share with you guys today.
Really
Let
cool
us know if you
projects.
guys have any, and I'd love to share it on the show.
Mhm.
You have another opportunity to share it tonight. If you have a Kickstarter maybe, and you want to talk about your Kickstarter, the best way for us to do that is
Or
to...
projects if you want feedback or just to show Lamar and Phil. Definitely come to the show and tell, especially if we talked about your project earlier today.
Yeah.
It'll be live at 7:30. Just go over to
Eastern
YouTube.
time.
Eastern time. That's
Yep.
important, yeah.
Ask Engineer.
Yeah, we'll post a
shortly
link in the
after.
comments right before it starts so you can join the Hangout and show off your lovely project that you're working on.
That's right.
Right after that is Ask an Engineer at 8 p.m.
Yep.
Full hour with Lamar and Phil, talking about all the news and open source,
New products.
new products, and secret top
The state of open source.
yeah,
All that
sneak
good
peeks,
stuff.
all that cool stuff.
Yeah. If you guys saw, was it yesterday or the day before? Yeah, it was probably the day before. John just had his first live stream, so check that out. Go to the Adafruit YouTube channel and you can find John Park's latest, first ever live stream. So he's going to start doing live streaming. I guess maybe he'll come up with a special name, but his kind of projects are just John Park's Workshop.
live workshop.
And
Keep
every
the logo
Friday, Tony does Watch Tony Desks live on Twitch. So be sure to check out twitch.tv/Adafruit, I believe. That's exclusive Twitch right there.
Yeah, we gotta get him to switch over to just YouTube.
We tried.
So
we
that's
tried.
where all the
Nope,
chats
I'm Twitch.
are.
No, that's cool. And then Desk Lady will be back whenever she wants. Yeah.
Super cool behind the scenes of all the cool projects
Yep.
and products that Lamar's working on. So definitely subscribe to get all that.
Yep. Erin St. Blaine, Tinker Pixie. She's got some great projects as well. Hopefully some new ones coming down the pipeline.
Yep.
Okay. Don't forget, guys, if you want to pick something out, support the show, support your maker habit, make sure you use coupon code FIRSTTRY and check out.
And hopefully you can
Yeah.
check out on the first try.
Yeah.
Oh, BlitzCityDIY saying thanks for the shout out.
Thank you for doing what you're doing. This is awesome.
And definitely check out our Instagram as well.
That's
I think
right.
it's the same thing, BlitzCityDIY. Want to see some of the behind the
Yes.
scenes, work in progress.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us today. It was a lot of fun. We had a little hiccup, as we tend to do with live shows. But we'll be here next week and later tonight on Ask Engineer and Show and Tell. Boop. And boop. Pedro, you got anything?
Kirby's saying that the new Ninjago movie set might be fun for Lego when it comes out.
Oh, right. That's the new Lego movie coming out.
Yeah, next time we go to Disney, we're going to pick up that
Saturn 5
Saturn
rocket?
5. Oh, I'm so pissed we didn't grab it when we were there last time. Well, first of all, we weren't impressed because it was like, it's just like a...
Yeah, because they didn't really present it as cool.
Yeah.
So, anyway. Yeah, we're doing Q&A. Yeah, Q&A is right now.
Writer is asking, do we know how to set up a slicer for a printer like the PrintrBelt? I have no clue how the setup for that would be.
I don't know how that is.
I've not even played with any like the polar coordinates, like the Polar 3D. I have no clue.
Is there like a plugin for Octoprint for that, I think?
The only different type of non-Cartesian setup we've used is the Delta.
Right. And
it sets up regularly like any other printer.
Well, you got to tell it that it's a Delta bot for slicing.
That's about it. There's nothing different you got to do.
I thought this was a strand of hair and it ended up being your magnet wire. I hope I didn't break it.
No, it's fine. It's actually pretty tough.
Really?
I've had it catch on something and it didn't break or anything.
Wow, I figured just look at it, it would like fall apart.
Kirby has a sealed DeLorean set.
No way. Kirby, who wants to touch me? Like, I got the DeLorean. That's fun.
Cool. I always feel like we should buy 2 of things. All the Lego sets we have, they're for play. I don't have anything on display. They're all like for Gavin to
like every day. Just building it.
Yeah.
And then playing, that may be fun.
So you know how like after you're done building, you're like, all right, now what? Well, when you have a kid, you always have to rebuild it, and so that fun never stops.
Yeah.
With the added fun, joy of trying to look for the part that he's lost.
Jeez. What's the best way to reduce the extrusion amount? I am over extruding.
So on the Sigma, the older profiles that I had for it, even though the extrusion multiplier was set to 0.01, it was over extruding by a bunch. So I just lowered it down to 0.75 and that cut down.
All right, to somebody who's new, what is extrusion multiplier and how does that work? So there is a setting that should be right underneath or right close to the thing that says layer height, and you want to look for extrusion multiplier. By default, I believe in Cura, it's set to like 100%. For something like Simplified 3D, it is a just 1.0 value. So you have to kind of play with that number. So if you're over extruding, just drop that to like 0.9 or 90%.
Yeah, another funky thing that you can do is to up your filament diameter. So if you wanted to extrude less, say it's a 1.75 diameter filament, maybe up it to 2.0.
Maybe that's a little bit much. Maybe start with 1.8.
1.9, 1.8, yeah.
Okay.
Just start off small like that. But that is another way to lower the extrusion on that.
Yeah.
I had to do that actually with the Ultimaker 2 when I was using 175mm filament.
There's also some interesting guides that you can find. So for example, if you go to matterhackers.com and search for troubleshooting guide, there is like a nice visual to see how to combat over extrusion, under extrusion, all sorts of things. It's a nice visual guide. There's also one from Simplify 3D.
And one from Ultimaker as well. They have a whole little visual guide of some of the things to look out for and how to fix it.
So you can kind of see like, what is your print? Like over extruding, here we go.
Of course, this is not specifically for Simplify 3D, but they will tell you exactly where the setting is and all that.
Right.
So that's why they.
So this is a real nice kind of way to just sit down, get some tea, and just read everything. Cool. All right, next question.
Well, Kirby says he has the Lego store model only given for new openings.
Hold on.
What?
I didn't have the right thing on. Sorry. I didn't have the right. So you can find here a visual guide. So like for over extrusion, you can see exactly kind of a nice breakdown of what's going on. A couple of different things here. So check that out. I'll have the link for this as well. I think I just had Matter Hackers guide. Just search for that. That'll be the second link. And there you go. So hopefully that helps out.
Yeah, this will be more
the
general.
info is
I wanna
out there.
say.
It's just someone needs a little push, you know, on where you can find this stuff.
Mhm.
Cool. All right, back to QA.
What is the best inexpensive way to control several printers, like 14 of them?
I believe there are a couple of things. There's a 3D printer OS, which is
Yeah.
like just imagine like an Octoprint type host software, but that's optimized for multiple printers.
Looks pretty good just by looking at some of the UI photos of it.
Yeah.
In terms of giving you stats too, like how long prints.
I don't know. There's another one. I don't know if they're still out though.
There's Matter Control. Was that one of them?
I think so, but I don't know if it's specialized for multiple printers. Most of them are just for single printers. Like for us, we just have multiple Raspberry Pis and multiple instances of Octoprint. So
we just have several tabs open.
Yeah, we just link, you know, just open up the IP address.
Yeah, not the best way. We just remember what IP address for each is.
Yeah. But for 13, yeah, you need a better solution.
Yeah.
Probably 3D printer OS.
I don't know the cost or whatever. I don't know. What
I don't know if there is a
is.
cost or what.
If it's a subscription model,
I don't
or
know.
I have no
you have
clue.
to search that, but that'll at least give you some points of where to go.
Yeah.
Cool. Any other questions? Soldering. What is this?
Oh,
how
to
do you
burn the
burn off the-
enamel.
yeah.
Yeah, I just soldered to it and
So the tip,
it burns right off.
just
yeah.
the tip, just burn right off.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. Okay.
For the parts where I had to solder it to the coin cell breakout, I did have to melt it first and then
Oh, it wouldn't go
expose
inside.
a little bit. Yeah. But of course, I'll talk about all that next week.
Octoprint is the best. Totally.
Yes, and if you haven't supported Gina's Patreon,
Yeah, check it
that
out. Fussel. Just my Octoprint sticker right there. Did you guys see the Octoprint sticker on the ramps when you were scanning
yeah.
the fingerboard? That was super cool.
How many?
Did anybody even see that? Did you see the open source sticker? And did anybody see that? Look for it.
There's Raspberry Pi on there. There's.
Here's another
Arduino.
trivia. What's the date on the Time-Lapse Tuesday video? Did anybody notice the date on that?
Yes, you should. You are able to rename the host name on that on the
That's
Pis.
correct, yes.
I keep forgetting to do that because you have to do it when you set up, right? When you first set it up.
No,
Or
I
can
think
you
you
do
can
it
change it now.
afterwards?
Yeah,
You can do it
we're just cool with numbers. I like typing
Oh.
10.1. It makes me feel smart.
I remember. Yeah, it's 49, 190, 145 back there, 245 on the other one.
Okay. We're boring people. They're all like, all right, great show. I gotta go. It's like, thank you guys so much for joining us. If you do want to hang out with us on the show and tell, you get a free sticker. Oh yeah. Woot. Very cool stuff. All right, well, thank you guys so much. We'll be here next week. Don't forget, coupon code is first try. We'll have another coupon code later tonight for Ask an Engineer.
And
all right, guys.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
You counting?
5.5 hours. We'll be back.
Awesome. All right, guys. We'll see you then.
See you guys.
Bye, everybody. This one. And this one.